ECMP 355, Summary of Learning. When I first started this class, I had a ton of questions about what it would teach me and what would I really get out of this class. This being my first online class, I had many concerns, but by attending the first one, I quickly dismissed all of them and even the idea of what I would get out of it because I knew right away that there was so much to learn. Classes were made even more interesting by not only being taught by our awesome professor, but by different educators across the country and the world. From these classes alone, I increased my personal learning network as well as my basic knowledge on technology. This class really opened up my eyes as to how technology can be used beneficially, because before I mostly used online apps recreationally and for social purposes only, such as Facebook. I used to post statuses and pictures for my friends to see. But now I know the real truth behind what technology can actually be used for. So during this class, I created a personal online space called A Pathway to Learning, where I learned to post professionally about items of interest to other educators, as well as using my blog to bring up topics that I was interested in and sharing new apps and what they were about and how they could be used positively in the classroom. I never thought I would enjoy blogging, but I absolutely loved it. I always wrote my blog posts right away and then left them so that I could come back and read them to see if I still agreed with my thoughts, as well as to see if they would make sense to anyone else reading it. I plan to keep up my blog and hope that more people will see it and learn something useful from it. Twitter was another challenge in this class for me to overcome. Because before this class, I never used it. I had an account, but I maybe had used it once. I never saw Twitter as a way to learn or as a way to further my education, but now I absolutely love it. I've become a Twitter addict. I use it as a way to share ideas, to reinforce other people's ideas by sharing them. I also took part in more than one Twitter chat, which is an awesome way to share my ideas and being open to receiving feedback from other educators about what they thought about my ideas. It was the coolest thing being able to add all these awesome people that I had never met before to my personal learning network. Another important tool that I learned about is 5-card Flickr. This is a new app that I learned how to use. You choose 5 random photos and you use your imagination to create connections between the photos to write a story. Now, to use this in the classroom, it would be really cool to see how students would receive this assignment because it can be used in almost any subject or grade setting in subjects such as social, English, creative writing, etc. Now, I can't wait to use this with my students and to see how creative they'll become with it. Another cool app was called the Daily Create. It creates a daily challenge that you have to be creative with to figure out a way to individually do this. Now, I did one challenge and you can receive the result of it in my blog. I would use these challenges in my classroom because it allows students to think outside of the box, as well as trusting them to see the challenge as something that they can base off of their personal interests. Another cool tool that allowed me to see all of my classmates' blogs in a lineup so that I could see all of their brand new posts and so that I can comment on them and know what I have read and what I haven't read. When I have my own class blog, I plan to see and have my students to be blogging, and this will be a great way to see all of their posts and to keep up to date on what they're writing about, and perhaps sharing some of their ideas in class and making lesson plans to further their students' interest. The online app is called Wordle, and I created this Wordle with words that I felt described this class, not only what I learned about in class, but also what made it such an awesome experience for me. Now, my aha moment for this class was understanding that integrating technology into the classroom has many beneficial and supportive features for students as well as for parents. But the most important thing is using technology in moderation. Technology is amazing and has so many awesome tools that are so easily accessible to use for everything. As a teacher, if you rely on technology for everything in your lesson plans, there's a chance of some students being left out because all of your homework assignments need technology, as well as your students seeing you as a role model and seeing how reliant you are on technology. It teaches them that it's okay to use it for everything. Like how in my one blog post, I discussed the dying use of cursive writing and how students aren't even able to sign their own names when asked for a signature. Students are using computers more and more and aren't writing as much. And as the ownership of cell phones, iPads, and laptops are becoming more and more popular, people aren't really caring about handwriting or penmanship at all. So this is where moderation is a real balance that needs to be taught. What I still wonder about is how to make my online image more professionally based. When I Googled myself, I didn't find many things that related to me, which is both good and bad. I plan to work on increasing my online image so potential employers will be able to find things like my blog and my educational Twitter account. There's so much that I learned about in this class, and it would take a huge amount of time to discuss it all because our class time was packed full of knowledge in such a short period of time. This course has provided me with many new technologies, ideas, and people to work with. I am thankful for all of the new knowledge that I've gained, as well as the new challenges that I overcame. This class has really shown me the benefits of technology in the classroom, and I know that for whatever I need, all I have to do is look online and perhaps even send out a tweet, and most likely something will pop up. I know I have learned a lot, and I plan to use it over the many years to come in my new classroom. As my first experience with an online course, this class blew my expectations out of the water, and I'd rate this class as an A+, and encourage all of my fellow classmates to take this class. I look forward to putting my newfound knowledge about technology